Almost did it again where I'm like, what podcast am I recording today?
Fuck. F-U-C-K.
Fucking egg. Yeah. All right, here we are. 3, 2, 1. I seriously was just like, welcome.
Oh my God, crazy.
Welcome to Knock Your Socks Off, the podcast. I'm Ravi.
I'm Hannah.
And Hannah, what are you knocking my socks off with today?
Well, we here at Knock Your Socks Off are utilizing the power of idioms in relation to our podcast name. Now, this is not our first podcast. Maybe it's the first one you're listening to. Welcome. But when we have taken, in a sense, our podcast out into the world, often people are like, we say Knock Your Socks Off podcast, but it's like, what does that mean? What's that about? The name itself doesn't lend it to knowing exactly what we're about. But that's because idioms are fun little mysteries. Everybody kind of has their fun sayings, their fun phrases. So I thought today we would have a fun Knock Your Socks Off podcast, going through some idioms, seeing what fun things we can do with the English language, and then also like hear where they originated from. Because there's some wild ones that you would not have thought.
So you did all the research, right?
I did the research. I got
beautiful.
Charts. We're ready to go. We're not going to be Googling
charts?
here today. It's going to be great.
Okay.
So, for example, knock your socks off. When you think knock your socks off, what does that mean to you? And we're gonna start there. And let me actually do a quick little asterisk caveat. These are all pulled from the general internet. If you have an issue with any of these, take it up with Google, and we'll go from there. I didn't dive into
What's
actual
the general,
history.
how do you define the general internet?
Google, which is
Google.
pretty impressive for Google.
Sure.
You know, when you think
Sure.
internet, you might probably think of Google. So
That's true.
yeah. So when you think knock your socks off, what does that mean?
So for me, it comes to the idea of like you're being told something that changes like your perception or perspective on something, either a movie, a show, or a concept, an idea, a concept. Just kind of like it blows your mind.
For sure.
Now we would have done blows your mind, but that was taken. So
True.
Knock your socks off is the next best.
Knock your socks off is right there. We like to have fun discussions and to put our own debates and topics out there that we like to talk about.
What does it mean for you?
For me, I would say it also similarly means like maybe similar to blow your mind, but like the ability to just kind of like surprise somebody, to kind of maybe invite someone's discussion to change their perspective, and or maybe hear other perspectives, or just kind of like go a little crazy with something and just knock your socks off.
See what happens.
Exactly. So this is just like the example as we're going to go through them, because it originated, so fun fact, knock your socks off, the saying, the phrase, the idiom, came from the mid-1800s to describe a beating so bad, it's like so in boxing, that the winner of the fight may have knocked the opponent right out of his socks. Other similar sayings originating at that time included knock your lights out and knock you into next week.
And this is the
mid-1800s.
Mid-1800s.
Yeah.
I always forget boxing has been around for a minute.
Yeah. So it's interesting that, we're taking it and we're making it in a space of like discussion, whatever. And like I would say like a lot of people, when we tell people that when we're in the quote unquote wild talking about our podcast, people understand that phrase. But really it's crazy that it came from the boxing world, which makes sense too. Knock your lights out. Knock your socks off.
Yeah, Knock Your Lights Out is a good one.
It is.
I wonder if there's a pod called Knock Your Lights Out. There has to be.
There has to be. And I would imagine it'd be about boxing. KOs, knockouts.
No, it's actually about baseball.
It is. Could be. Who knows? You never know. But yeah, so you ready to just get into some fun ones? I got a whole little flow for us, but we'll kind of hit whatever we want to hit. So to start us off, we have the phrase a dime a dozen. So if you were to think of a dime a dozen, what would the context be that you're saying like, oh, that's a dime a dozen?
Yeah, I think like when I hear that, I usually go to like that person isn't unique.
Yeah, like right, totally, totally.
They're just like one of many.
Yeah,
like they saw something and that's how they dress now in middle school.
Yeah, dime it. Exactly.
Personal
just dime
story.
A dozen. Yeah, exactly. Do you want to share it? Go any further?
No,
or no?
I don't.
We have boundaries. We're going to say no.
I'm not sharing my childhood.
Dime a dozen. But yeah, so the dictionary or the meaning is that it's something common. Mm-hmm. So yeah, kind of unoriginal, dime a dozen. It originated also, a lot of these originated in the 1800s, whatever. Language has been around for a while. I'm not going to give the dates for every single one. But the dime was first used as a slang for the number 10. And when a dime of every 12 hens' eggs were likely to hatch. So a dime a dozen's like, you're going to get 10 eggs for every dozen your chicken puts out. You know what I mean?
Got it. Oh, so it was a farmer's terminology.
Yeah, totally. And kind of just like this space of like, you can't always count on getting 12 for 12, but you're gonna get a dime a dozen. Like, I don't know. And then
cool.
but now we use it as like, oh yeah, you're something common.
You're
Like,
super common. You're not interested.
you're just a dime a dozen.
You're dime a dozen.
All right, ready? We got beat around the bush. What are you like? If you're using beat around the bush in a phrase,
it's in relationships, and it's when you don't want to tell your significant partner something that you know will hurt them.
So you're beating around the bush.
You're beating around the bush.
Passive.
Yeah.
Just kind of avoiding the main thing.
Fun fact: the first time I heard that was like my parents when they would get in fights.
With each other.
Yeah,
it was a space of like with each other. Don't beat around the bush to each other.
They would get into like some kind of argument, whatever.
That's on that.
And it would be like one of them would be like, stop beating around the bush or whatever.
And you clocked it, and you're like, so something's not being the tea is not being spilled as it needs to be, and someone wants to just knock their socks off and just say the thing that needs to be said. Or
knock their lights out.
Or knock either one. This is true.
Yep.
Call back.
There you go.
Okay, so this one, beat around the bush, is associated with hunting. Maybe not surprisingly.
Oh.
Yeah, in medieval times, hunters hired men to beat around the area, around the bushes with sticks in order to flush out game, taking cover underneath. So if you were, like, the hunters hired somebody else, so they were probably kind of like less, special or in the classes. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Poor person.
And so they had to come around and beat around the bush.
Sure.
To find the animal, to have the animal come out from underneath so that the hunters could actually hunt.
So we've never ever done hunting in human history the proper way. Got it.
Truly.
We've just been beating around the bush.
Whoa. Oh, there it is.
Oh man.
Damn. All right, ready? Break a leg. How do you use it?
I mean, I did theater in middle school and high school, and it was always obviously used to like, when the actors would go out and perform, it'd be like, go break a leg.
Yeah.
I never, and I still don't really understand it. It just feels weird to be like, I hope physical harm happens to you.
For sure.
And you're like,
for sure.
Like, imagine if like you go out and you're in the Super Bowl and the kicker has to go out there and he's got to make the field goal. Get those 3 extra points to like win the fucking thing. Imagine if the team's just like, break a leg, babe. The fuck?
It's intense.
It's a fucked up saying. I don't get it.
But then in general, is there superstition as per you when you did theater? Is there superstition if you don't say it though?
No.
Like, was there like you have to say it?
I don't really,
some shit?
Personally, I don't believe in like superstitions.
Okay.
I never really was like, you have to say it or
Yeah. Got it.
And just to be clear, with the theater, I was a backstage kid. Like, I wasn't like on stage.
People weren't telling you to break a leg.
No.
Rude.
And I wasn't telling other people either.
So it was mutual.
It was mutual.
No one was breaking legs in Robbie's world.
I was very, I was nice. I wasn't like telling people like, hope injury happen. Like, it's so weird.
It's
I'm
strange.
curious. Like, where does it originate from? And what's the real meaning behind it?
Real meaning is good luck. I mean, like, or how we use it. It is.
But it doesn't make sense.
I know. Okay. In the early days of theater, this is where ensemble actors were cued to perform. If actors were not performing, they had to stay behind the leg line, which also meant they wouldn't get paid. So if you were to tell the actor to break a leg, you were wishing them the opportunity to perform and get paid. The ensemble.
Oh.
So like it is essentially break a leg to somebody else, wishing them harm so you get paid. Because they have to be behind the. Oh no!
Oh.
I'm thinking this out loud right now as I'm reading it again. No. Break a leg means they want to break the leg line.
The leg line.
Because if they had to stay behind the leg line. Huh.
Yeah, just say I hope you get to perform, or I hope you make it rain. That's another one.
Money,
There's
honey.
an idiom.
Truly,
make it rain.
Make it rain. Yeah, damn. I don't know if I got that one in here, but that's a good one too.
I think that's the modern day version of break a leg.
Break a leg. Make it rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
I'm
fucking go.
Calling it, and it's the way it is now. So
done. How about cut somebody's slack?
I mean, my mind immediately goes like corporate America. It's we should reclaim it as cut someone some slack or whatever. It should be like you're getting them offline so they don't have to work, like breaking their internet connection or something.
Yeah.
But no, that probably in my mind means like they're having a hard time. Give them a break.
Yeah.
Let them continue fucking up their life. If they're consistently in a toxic friendship or a toxic relationship, let them keep fucking it up.
Just cut them some slack.
Yeah.
Don't be so critical is what the dictionary said, which is like right on point.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So this one, it can be alluded to the docking of ships, where give me some slack meant to loosen the rope.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was like,
Rope
cut
and
him some slack was like literally that.
Yeah.
And then people just started being like, cut him some slack, which is like, loosen up on him, babe. Like, back up, give him some
space.
some leeway. I
Yeah.
know, right? Boats.
Boats.
Who'd have thought? Slack and boats.
Boats.
Boats. Cool. All right. Easy does it.
Easy does it.
Easy does it.
That's just straight up like life is easy. Life is good. Easy does it.
Easy does it.
That doesn't feel right though.
No. I mean, it's not that you have to be super right on
No,
everyone.
no, but even in like me
you're saying it, you're
explaining
like, that
it, I'm like,
doesn't-
I don't think
Yeah.
that's how I've ever heard it. Easy does it. That's a different. I don't know. I
That
don't
one-
really
Yeah.
heard it as much, I guess.
This one, the definition, as they say, is like encouraging someone to slow down. So kind of like, hey, like easy does it. Like,
Oh,
you're okay, slow
I think
down.
I was told that a lot as a kid, actually.
Were you a little wound tightly?
Yes.
Yes. could have used some cutting some slack and some easy does it.
Yes.
You know,
Totally.
some of all that. This one was specifically, first fun fact. So this is an interesting one. This was first found in the Bible.
Oh.
And it encourages those reading it to take it easy and not worry about tomorrow. Easy does it. But I only really included this one here because, as I said, I'm not going to include all the dates as I'm reading them and stuff. A lot of them did actually, and not all as many that I included, because I thought more of like the stories and interesting pieces were better than biblical ones. But there was actually a lot of the idioms that came from the Bible.
That makes a lot of sense.
Or like where
Yeah.
language was like shared
Yeah.
and formed, or like so that just was an interesting thing to like as someone is like taking in like even just baby research, Google research of language, that a lot of it does come from like the Bible and or biblical sharing of words.
The Bible still influencing us today, I guess.
The Bible, please take it slower. Easy does it.
Easy does it.
To all who are
Easy
following
does
that.
it.
All right, how about get out of hand? If something was to get out of hand.
Oh, like a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're causing trouble,
Yeah.
or they're not on the same path, or like they're not following the rules, I guess.
Totally. Getting out of hand,
Yeah.
getting out of control is
Yeah.
kind of as it like
Yeah.
changed the word
Children.
of children. Just all the babies out
The
here
one
getting out of
the
control.
one bully
I know.
in every school.
Did you ever have a bully?
I was the bully.
Oh, cool. I had a bully.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
That sucks.
I know. It
Have
happens.
you gotten revenge on them yet?
No.
Oh, you should.
I really hope that they're just, got their own.
They have-
Karma's a
they-
bitch.
Oh my
But,
god. Yeah.
Anyway, getting out of hand. This got out of hand
Yep.
quickly.
Well, then
Shout out.
But then it could also be used like get out of hand, and it says like you're getting off task.
Getting off task.
Yeah,
Kind
or
of out
like
of off.
going
Right, like you said, off
off
the path.
topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some tangents, things getting out of hand.
Wait, I want to guess the
okay, yeah,
origination. Now that I've got a little bit
You
more,
got okay, yeah.
it's
What do
coming
you
from
think?
Bible times or whatever,
Sure.
or medieval times.
Yeah. What do you think it originated
Getting out of
from?
hand, I'm going to go with someone is trying to overthrow the king and there's a coup going.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
That would be.
That'd be intense. There were a lot that were also like very much like based out of war terminology that I didn't include
Sure.
all the way because some of them got pretty dark. I think I included maybe 2 in here, but there's actually quite a few that come from war, like again, passing of language via the war. Because you need to communicate when those things are happening. But getting out of hand was specifically tied to horseback riding. If a rider did not hold on to the reins correctly, the horse would become out of control. In other words, if the rider let the reins out of its hands, the horse would get out of hand. And then
That makes a lot of sense.
couldn't control it. Horseback riding. Crazy. Okay, here's one that is going to call into our, I'll give you a little teaser that it does relate to or does originate from war times. But going back to the drawing board, what does that mean if you were to
Oh,
use it
so
in a
like
sentence?
you have an idea.
Yeah.
Like I feel this is used mostly in like engineering terms or development terms where
Yeah.
it's you present an idea, it doesn't work, so you need to go back and kind of rework said idea.
Yeah.
And then you said it comes from wartime?
It did. Yeah, it
wartime.
does.
I'm going to go with World War One.
Okay.
Is when it got coined. And just simple war tactics. They try an invasion, doesn't work, or a strategy or a tactic, so they have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Well, you got it totally right that it's kind of start over a little bit, like kind of like take in all the things we did. We got to kind of blank slate it. It came from World War II times.
Oh,
So
I was actually going to say World War II originally, but I was like, hey, that's too soon. Too soon.
Yeah. No, it's right there.
Or like specifically like any country or group?
Not a really country, but it says from World War II, most likely from the caption of a cartoon, which is interesting, again, because language is passed in all kinds of mediums or whatnot.
Yeah.
By the caption of a cartoon by Peter Arno in the New Yorker magazine, it pictured a man who held up a set of blueprints and was watching an airplane explode.
Wow.
Dark.
Very dark.
Deep.
Was that like a Boeing company airplane or too soon?
Too soon?
Too soon? Okay.
Yeah, you were talking about World War. Yeah, you gotta watch out.
I mean, Boeing was around during World War II, so in theory.
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of want to research this a little bit more and see like was the photo or the cartoon
board.
Depicting a Boeing plane or something?
I don't know.
Holy shit.
I don't know.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
Feel very uncomfortable.
It would. Our next idiom is hang in there.
Hang in there?
Hang in there.
Oh, like you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Things will work out.
Yeah. Hang in there.
I feel like it's a really bad joke back when they were hanging people.
Ooh.
You know?
Dark.
Like your family members being hung for whatever reason, and you're yelling to them as they're losing life. Hang in there.
Oh my God. Yikes.
You never said this was a positive podcast.
We're in our fields today with the idioms. It does mean don't give up, or as people are saying, kind of
Sure.
like, less death and
Less death.
less death. And the expression became popular in the 1970s due to a popular poster that bore the phrase. The poster, I don't think you could have guessed this, featured a Siamese cat hanging onto a bamboo pole, looking determined to stay stuck on there. Just a cat.
A Siamese cat.
Specifically a Siamese cat hanging onto bamboo for their lives.
And this is a New Yorker poster?
No, this was just in the 70s. I don't know. A popular poster.
Hang in there.
With the cat hanging on.
That's so weird.
Right? Some of these were wild. So.
Did you get any like modern day idioms?
That were like, that's in the 70s. That's pretty much modern.
But I just wonder like how we see those like homes or people decorate with
like live, laugh, love.
Yeah,
Oh,
like are those like modern
shit.
day type idioms, or
That's a
will
great-
they be
that's a
considered
great call-out.
idioms like down the road?
Maybe.
I'm trying to think of like all that comes to mind is live, laugh, love, but like Target and all of those like home good type stores
Yes.
have like a bunch of that shit.
100%.
Like there's also like the inspirational poster series.
Yeah.
There's the anti-inspirational poster series.
Yeah,
And like
true.
I feel like a lot of those.
Yeah.
There's like TV shows that have like crazy lines like Battlestar Galactica. So
Yeah.
say we all.
Truly.
I mean, I feel like
May the
in
force be
100
with you.
May
It's
the
right
force
there.
be with you could be
Sure.
one
Sure.
that survives the test of time or whatever. So
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing in my mind that like a straight up, this like hang in there does feel more straight up, a little bit like straightforward. But the only thing about like live, laugh, love is like, I think something like a knock your socks off or like one of them that we're going to go over is like let someone off the hook. It's like, if you don't, so because my thing is if you don't know English, because that's where like I remember as a kid, like we would learn these idioms, and one of the main, and maybe this is incorrect and inaccurate for teachers to have at all explained it this way, but like let's hit the road, or like like different things that like if you don't know the slang that we essentially use it in, like would someone who doesn't know English but heard the words hit the road would think like, am I fucking hitting the road?
You just see like a bunch of people just get out of their car and just punching the road. It's like, I'm hitting the road.
Hitting the road. I don't know what you're trying to do.
I don't get it.
Like it's kind of this space of like live, laugh, love.
But that's the thing. There's like live, laugh, love. Like if you didn't know English, you could potentially look at that live, laugh, love?
Yes, yeah.
You could look at it as like, oh, in order to love, I have
must
to
live and
love.
laugh.
Or was it? It's
Live and
live, laugh, love. So before you get, so you go backwards, right? So it's like, oh, if I have to love, I have to be able to laugh, and then after that, I have to live. So someone could take that.
Sure. So maybe. I'm
trying to think of like how may the force may become like may the
idiom?
force be with you. So like that could be like something around force of nature, like wind.
Well, I mean, I think
And it's like, oh, the wind's going to be with... Like, maybe that'll be something we say to farmers of the future. May the force be with you, because you want, like, good rain, not tons of wind or tornado or forces of nature.
Wow, what a marketing tactic.
I know,
That'd be pretty good. Just
Totally.
make it, everybody knows it. Not just anybody who likes Star Wars.
I mean, that is
It is
marketing
what
101.
that's what they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Okay, which one should I do next? Let's do, it's not rocket science. It's rocket science.
It's not rocket science. Oh, it's some concept or idea is being explained to you. It's supposed to be kind of straightforward and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not complicated.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what
and I'm
it
going
was.
to go with the 1930s, 1940s.
Okay, love that.
During the time period when they were trying to build rockets.
Sure. You're close.
Oh.
1950s. Fun fact.
Cold War.
Rocket science was regarded as a complicated field of study. However, the phrase "it's not rocket science" did not come into use until the 1980s, when it was used to describe the degree of difficulty involved in coaching football. So just some
That's what?
specific.
Are they just saying that like coaching football is so easy?
That's what they were saying. They
I'm
said
not
it's
saying
not
this
rocket
is,
science.
I'm not saying trying to be like, oh yeah, football's hard to coach or something. Because I mean,
Sure.
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know.
Funny, right?
I mean, it feels like a letdown. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of mad at that actually.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the let someone off the hook. This one might be maybe a good one for guessing the original.
Let someone off the hook.
Yeah. First, what does it mean?
Oh,
Or like,
so
how would you use it?
that one is just like you're forgiving.
Yeah.
Forgive, forget, love.
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 Live, laugh, love.
Wait, there's like a forgive, forget something, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I don't. It's
We've
fine.
forgotten it.
Yeah,
We've
forgotten
forgiven
it.
and forgotten.
Yeah. Forgive and forget.
I mean, I think it's. I don't know if
Forget
there
to
is. I don't know
forgiven.
if there was a. I don't know if there is a third F in that. Forgive and forget. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, let's
Anyway.
not the hook. It's to let them
Go.
let them go.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say it originates from fishing
Okay. Yeah.
and
Accurate.
letting like the smaller fish go
Yeah.
because there's always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger fish. Yeah. So you got that one.
Oh, sweet, 100%.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! I invented idioms.
Can be found in fishing. A fish on the hook has been caught and considered to be out of options.
What year though did that
It
drop?
didn't give a year for that one. I
Okay, so
apologize.
I mean, fishing's been around for God knows how long.
Pretty much since God.
Actually, no, probably before
Probably for religion.
religion
I mean,
was
people had
recorded
beaten.
or whatever.
Yeah,
So.
it's true. All right, let's do. If you're pulling someone's leg,
But that's the term. If you're pulling someone's leg,
not if, but you're pulling someone's leg.
like stop pulling my leg.
Yes.
Got it. I was like, I've never heard if you're pulling someone's leg.
I know. Sorry.
But
Pull
like,
yeah.
stop pulling my leg.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
Stop trying to like pull one over me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's joke with someone. Like
Yeah, joke
pull a
with
joke
someone.
over
Pull a
me.
joke.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Okay.
like, get over someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any idea where that could? This one was a weird one, so this is a fun one to.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with it was during the Cold War,
Okay.
and specifically around spies. I don't know.
Ooh, spies. That's fun.
Yes.
Okay, so it says 18th and 19th century London, so that's pretty broad. But in those days, street robbers, I mean, not spies, but robbers, often worked in gangs of two. One would trip up the unsuspecting victim, and the other would remove his money and other valuables while he was lying on the ground. So if someone's just pulling a joke on you or pulling up the worst prank, which is getting robbed,
I guess.
and they're just, whoop, they're taking your legs out from under you.
Yeah,
And then robbing
yeah.
you blind right there.
Boom.
Boom.
It's a good one.
Pull someone's leg. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You got it.
It,
Yeah.
it makes sense that it's a British one.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
I feel like if I was a real Brit, I'd be laughing my
someone's
ass
leg.
off.
Right.
You know?
Because I wonder if they use that idiom more than
I feel like
Americans
I'm
do.
sure like they use them like their sitcoms.
Probably, yeah. How about under the weather?
That one I always thought was kind of a weird one, but obviously it means to be sick.
Sure does.
But it like on paper, like why would you be under the weather? Like, are you? I mean, we're all under the weather. We're
Fair.
under the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So when I get to space, am I above the weather?
Truly.
So I've been.
Or if you're-
I've gotten enlightened. I'm dead.
above weather. I'm above atmosphere.
weather.
This is great.
I'm beyond everything. I'm an angel.
I'm an angel. It's gonna be great. And you're never under the weather.
But I'm gonna go for the origin is some like the Black Death time period.
Ooh. Sure.
You know, like you're under the weather. You're dead.
You did.
You
You
died.
died. Yeah.
You died.
It is a nautical term from the days of old sailing ships. So, okay. Any sailor who was feeling ill would be sent below deck to protect him from the weather.
So you're under the
Under
weather.
the weather.
Oh, so
You're
there's like
under.
a physical. Okay.
Under, right?
Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
That kind of knock your socks off?
That knocked my socks off. That was the one. There you go.
We good. Just kidding.
We good. Pause over. Bye.
I have a few more. They're fun. How about... Ooh. Oh, this one is just interesting, I thought. Comparing apples to oranges.
Oh, I fucking hate that one. That one like causes so much anger. I don't know why.
What?
I don't
You have
know.
like a relationship with comparing apples to oranges? Or
I feel like it was like a school thing.
That's
where
hilarious.
like I think like in my science classes and some of my math classes, it was
Sure.
like that was used as a weird fucking comparison, and it just
fascinating.
like I hate it.
It grinds your gears.
It
That'd be
grinds-
another one.
just
That's an
grinds
idiom
my
right
gears.
there.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, I hate it.
Comparing apples. So you just
Comparing
you wanna
apples
move
to
on?
oranges.
Or-
No, I want to know the origin stuff.
Okay.
But I'm gonna guess it's like some idiot in some
Yeah.
long ago period in some
Yeah.
stupid. I don't know, Shakespeare. I feel like it's from Shakespeare.
Yes.
because he's stupid.
Stupid. Well, to be honest, it's funny that you say those things because this one is as far as I documented in my little thing was in 1670, which is the oldest one that I pulled aside from I guess like something being in the biblical times, but it was traced back to 1670. And the author was named John Ray, and it was like a proverb collection that he had. So kind of in the weird.
He's probably the dude that had the most punchable face ever. Oh, I made a book. What is it? Proverb? Fuck off.
In 1670 with his quill
Fuck
and just
off.
writing, comparing apples to oranges.
That doesn't make any sense.
See? Comparing two things that cannot be compared. But fun fact, this is the only reason that I really included this one because otherwise it was kind of boring, I thought. But in its original English that John Ray wrote it as, it was actually comparing apples to oysters.
That's funny. That's a funny one.
Right?
That's a good one. Comparing apples to oysters,
They're really
different.
fucking different.
Maybe I just hate oranges. I don't
See,
know.
that was what I thought I was like, that was interesting because it actually, like, they actually fucked it up. They actually fucked it up and they said comparing apples to oranges, they're both a fruit, they're both a sphere. Like,
Yeah,
what
are we
apples
comparing?
to oysters is actually works.
Right.
So why
then
can't we go back to that?
we're going back to
we
that.
should make a petition. If you're down to get it back to comparing apples to oysters, that's the vibe.
Can we name the podcast
Comparing apples to oysters.
Just because hearing it soothes my ears.
It's way better.
I'm
It's
so happy.
much better. If we had a Twitter handle and we could easily change our name just for like a week, we should
I
change
don't know
it
what
to
Twitter
that.
is. You mean X or dumb platform? Yeah.
Gross.
Fun fact though, I hate oysters, so it's
Damn.
it's just working on so many levels.
So it's feeling so
So
good. To you.
good.
I love that you had such a strong reaction to apples to oranges, which I was not prepared for,
yeah.
which knocked my socks off.
Yep.
And then that you all more love apples to oysters.
So good.
But isn't that like, okay, so this is also actually, okay, quick tangent. Okay, so this is one of the things was like, because these are like such weird random facts that kind of feel like they'd be great for a trivia game. Like, right? Like if
Yes,
someone was
yeah.
like giving a trivia thing, like what was the original apples to oranges phrase? And it'd be like, I don't know, apples to bananas. And you're like, nah, bitch, it was apples to oysters. Like hilarious, right? So
Right.
trivia. Okay, so we've been doing a couple different pods on like fun things that we like to talk about, obviously.
Sure.
Quite a few of those up until this point have been around like nerd or nerdy entertainment and content. And I don't know about you, but I was definitely considered a nerd growing up, but and like, granted, I did love nerd entertainment too, but I also loved shit like this.
Which is like the ultimate nerd.
Which is like the ultimate nerd,
Yes.
which is like the space where it was like, oh, these things that like kind of like are crazy in the English language, or like I didn't love math as much, but like I still like I'm not really a person that's like, oh, I love school, but it was like weird shit like that where it was just like so wild, you know, or something. That's not the most wild thing, but like I feel like it's like this is like true nerd shit. You know what I mean?
This is the truest. This is deep cut nerd
This
shit.
is a
Yeah.
nerd podcast, and we're going over idioms. So
That's true. Next pod is going to be on math equations and their
we're
origination.
gonna sit there with a whiteboard and
Yep.
just do some fun stuff. You never know what we're gonna do.
That's
How
very
we're gonna knock
true.
their socks off. We don't know. It's always fun. Doing something at the drop of a hat.
you are whipped. No.
Oh, why?
Like in a sense, like
You're just like you're doing whatever someone else tells you to do.
Correct.
All
like
right, fair.
you're under their control essentially.
Yikes.
And drop of the hat in terms of, there's no respect for your time.
Oh yeah.
So you're doing whatever they want at their whimsy, and therefore, like, you're not being respected.
Got it. So that was the whipped.
Yes.
Whipped.
Whip.
Is that what you really also think it means?
Nah, kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it is like doing something without having planned it beforehand.
Right.
And it was done originated in the 19th century. Fun fact.
By the servants to the Queen of England.
Yeah, who were like, God, I hate doing things at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
The Queen's fucking crown.
Yeah, because I'm
doing
running.
things at the drop of a crown would be.
Well, no, because they had little hats.
Oh, they had hats.
So they would run so quickly,
shoo.
and the hats were flying off.
Flash.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Anyway, 19th century. During that time, it was common to signal the beginning of a fight or race by either dropping a hat or sweeping it in a rapid downward motion.
Oh.
So it was kind of like the start of you're going fast. Like you're like drop of a hat.
So is that where like flag waves then originated from? Like
in NASCAR you mean?
and stuff?
Maybe. Also, I never actually, not that we have to get into it, but I never really understood because is the checkered flag the final lap? Or is that the end of the race?
I have no idea.
All right, we're not doing a NASCAR.
Yeah, we're not doing a NASCAR deep
great.
dive. I don't want to learn that.
All right, cool. This one's interesting. Get a taste of your own medicine.
Oh, that one I like.
Yeah, all right.
That one's
So
like a
what is,
really good one. Like you use that against your bully, your arch nemesis.
Yes, exactly.
Where you're like karma's where you basically go, get back at them essentially.
Yeah.
By giving them their own shit.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, 100%. Get treated the way you've been treating others. Tends towards negative, as the definition said. Any guesses on where this one could have come from?
I'm going to go with a royal family who had siblings fighting for the crown.
And so they were just like, get a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, like they were backstabbing each other.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. It says the famous story was about a swindler. So like the phrase comes from the famous story about a swindler who sells fake medicine.
Oh, God.
Claiming that it can cure anything. But when he falls ill, people give him his own medicine, which he knows will not work.
That's like a good like fable, like a good legend.
Yes.
Like why, like
kind of the invisible cloak, or like the emperor in his invisible cloak vibe.
Yeah. Like don't do unto others that you don't want done to you, whatever.
The golden rule. That's on that.
Rule, yeah. That's a good story though.
Right? Isn't that interesting?
I hope it's true.
That like some swindler was just like, yeah, I'm going to give these guys placebos, basically. Yeah. And then it was like, then finally he got sick and they're like, here, have this. It helped all of us. Should
we remind those pharmaceutical companies that did that recently with their cold medicine?
I saw that. That was intense. That is sad. A cold fucking sucks, dude, too. Like, just
and you're giving them fake
prolong
shit?
it. Fuck. All right, how about give someone the cold shoulder?
You're just ignoring them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Any idea where this could come from? This one was weird.
When I was like maybe like sailors and frostbite or something.
Ooh, I mean,
cold shoulder.
You're for the sake of like a medical thing. You're kind of like, I mean, whatever. You're not on the exact right path, but I like your idea. But in medieval England, it was customary to give a guest a cold piece of meat from the shoulder of a mutton, pork, or beef chop when the host felt it was time for the guest to leave.
Okay, I like that.
They're just like, here's your to-go container, please leave. Wow. Here's your to-go shoulder of
meat or whatever. Get out. I'm going to try that now.
I know,
just have like goodie bags ready for guests and just be like, here, take 100%. It. Get out.
Just like, I think we're good.
You remember like as a kid, is that why they did like party favors at the end of parties?
You got to go. Here's
to like
your fucking
get
bag.
the fucking kids out. Like here are the fucking bags.
Right, like
go.
it's kind of the like,
it signifies it's time to go. Dude, I'm bringing that back from whenever
cold
I get like
shoulder too. It's right there.
Oh my God.
But isn't that hilarious? That's where I started.
I am so doing
this. So right there. It's so great. All right, we've got a couple more because I think we've been going for a minute, which is great. How about let the cat out the bag?
That I use all the time. I put my cat in a bag and then I let it out. That's what it means.
That's what it is. Straight up.
But it typically is what let a secret out or something that's
100%.
Somebody doesn't want to know.
Nailed it. This one is a phrase that refers to the whip-like catch-o'-nine nails, an instrument of punishment, once used on Royal Navy vessels. The instrument was reportedly stored in a red sack, and a sailor who revealed the transgressions of another would be letting the cat out of the bag.
The fuck? That's a weird one.
I know, right? It's weird. Some of these were weird.
Yeah, it's literally nothing to do with cats.
No, but the cat of nine nails.
Cat of nine nails. Wow.
An instrument of punishment.
Ugh.
So you don't want to let the cat out the bag.
Guess
you know?
not.
Guess not. Let's not. Yeah. Crazy. How about? Oh, okay. This one was interesting, and we're gonna go kind of back to a little bit of the churchy Bible vibes. Playing devil's advocate.
Ooh. Wait,
what does it mean first? Like, how would you use it? Like, I'm
devil's advocate. So
playing
you're
devil's advocate.
Yeah, you're taking the opposite side of an argument.
Yeah.
In order to either strengthen your argument.
Yeah.
Or help disprove their argument, which I guess would be strengthening your argument.
Sure.
But
Yeah, fair. Yes. Any thoughts on where it could have come from?
The Catholic Church during the Spanish Inquisition.
Ooh. No, I mean, it comes from the Catholic Church, so
Sure,
you got that one. Yeah.
Sweet.
And it's based on the Latin words diaboli and advocatus. At one time, the Catholic Church had a church position called the promoter of faith, whose job was to find negative information on people in the church that they wanted to canonize.
Okay, there is a religion that does that actively currently. That's Scientology. That's when you go and you do your little thing and you tell them all your secrets, and they use that to weaponize against you in order to keep you within the church.
Anyway, that's where devil's advocate comes from.
Well, that's fucking fucked.
We're taking that off the lingo, right?
Damn.
Isn't that weird? It's dark too.
It is dark.
And I'm like, fuck. Like,
I mean, I hate to say it, but like, I like how you in your reading of the definition or the origins or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Catholic Church used to have this position. Let's speak.
Air quotes.
It's probably still there.
It's still there. Everyone, if you're watching the video, this is Emma Stone. She's here to join us today.
We let the cat out of the bag.
But not cat of nine nails, as we're learning. Okay, how about? Let's do. Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have more than I'm not even gonna do because there's too many. Oh man. Which is, you can research them if you want on your own time. But how about taking a rain check?
Postponing.
Yeah.
A predetermined meeting.
Yeah. Any ideas where it could have originated from?
Take a rain check. France during their revolution.
Ooh.
I'm just picking the most fucked up periods in time.
And then, fun fact, this one comes from baseball games.
Oh.
Were sometimes canceled on account of the rain in the days before modern ballparks. When this happened, ticket holders were given a new ticket called the rain check to use to attend a game in the future.
So this is like the early 1900s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, there
100%.
You go.
Exactly.
Straight up.
I know, right? Like, just
Love
like that and that. How about we'll do two more? Off his rocker.
This refers to old people.
Okay. What about them?
I mean, once you get old, your mind kind of goes. Yeah. So you start spewing random dumb shit.
Yeah. The definition was he's unwell. They're unwell.
They're unwell.
Well, off his rocker.
Yeah.
You know.
Usually, though, like I hear it nowadays when referring to them, like an older family member.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if anybody, yeah. Hopeful. I mean, it's not great to see anybody who's a little off his rocker, you know, age undefined, right? You know.
Do you think then, like, I don't think I've seen it. You know, we're obviously entering an election period right now. We have Republicans, Democrats, etc. I don't think I've ever seen that term like used in like a social or like a political ad campaign. Oh. I don't think I've ever like seen it like at like a rally. Where like you're trying to diss the other candidate, like that'd be kind of fun. Like so and so is off their rocker. Like,
I mean, again, but that's where I think is funny because idioms are tricky at times. You know, for the sake of using, you know, but people are saying like he's old AF.
Yeah,
they might feel a similar vibe if they're saying that as well as off his rocker, but who knows? But this one, it says the rocker in the phrase refers to a rocking chair, which, you know, I think sometimes people associate with an older generation, with the metaphor losing balance or stability. And then so similar to mental instability. So kind of literal, almost if you were to picture the metaphor of it all, for the sake of we know the rocking chair. Do you ever have a rocking chair in your house or anything growing up?
No.
We had one like epic rocking chair in our house.
We had the
a lazy boy
chairs.
Nice. Yeah, we had like a classic like wooden one.
Just want like a big, because you can get them like
crank it back.
Massage chairs.
Oh, you sure can. You
all
can have
these
all
crazy shit.
Truly, you could have like cups for popcorn in it, and
you can move it too. Like they have ones that move. Yeah, they can
like
move.
on a roller or on wheels?
Like it has like you can control.
Like a wheelchair.
the
like
ultimate
a reclining a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
If it gets you
We're
around
getting,
and
we're
you
getting
like
close
it,
to Wall-E set up very quickly.
there, it's really feeling pretty
Right
literal.
there.
We're right here.
Right there.
All right, we'll do the last one. Is on cloud 9.
Oh, like you're high as fuck.
This one said very happy.
You found
so hopefully
you found some nice green stuff, or you took one too many edibles, or
You're just
cans or
on
drinks or
cloud
whatever.
9.
You're cloud 9.
Yeah, very happy though.
But that's honestly like when I heard that terminology, mostly was in college. So
all right. Cool.
we always refer to it for when you were high as fuck.
You're on cloud 9.
Yep.
Just like
Yep.
what it is.
Yeah.
Where do you think it originated? Since this last one, I want you to guess.
70s.
Give it a guess. We'll say 50s.
The 50s, and was it reference to drugs?
No.
Damn. What was it? Yeah. Where?
Derives from the classification of clouds
Oh my
defined
God.
by the U.S. Weather Bureau in the 1950s, in which cloud 9 is listed as the fluffy.
The most fluffiest
The
cloud.
most fluffy, and this is gonna, if any weather people are up here, cumulonimbus type, considered to be the most attractive of all cloud formations.
Nimbus. Columbus.
The most fluffy. We can just say the most.
Well, that was interesting though. Like the Nimbus piece.
Yeah.
That's what in Dragon Ball Z or in Dragon Ball Goku, the main character, he initially when he's a kid flies around on a fluffy cloud that he calls like his Nimbus.
Oh.
So-
Or like Nimbus 2000, Harry Potter.
There you go.
But yeah, so on cloud 9 is just very happy, but it comes from literal, like the most fluffy, perfect collection of clouds based on the weather from the Weather Bureau.
In the
There you go.
1950s.
In the
Wow.
1950s.
That's amazing.
So those are my. I truly do have more. They're just fun. I thought it was just like a fun way to like. By no means is it like our origin story for our podcast, but it's just fun. I mean, knock your socks off is kind of elusive. These idioms are kind of elusive.
And I've got a new phrase now, comparing apples to oysters.
It's right there, babe.
It's right there.
Done. So, were your socks blown off?
Oh, 1,000%.
Knocked off? All right, cool.
1,000%.
Great.
Yeah.
Walked away with something new today.
Learned a lot.
Had some fun.
Which is crazy. I didn't think you could learn anything from idioms. But idioms, though, I mean, it makes sense. They're all based in history and
Totally.
things. So
Language.
It's
all there.
And I am curious to see, like, down the road of humanity.
Yeah.
Does, like, live, laugh, love.
Right.
Live long and prosper.
Truly.
So say we all, like, stuff from, like, shows. Do they become, like...
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, do they become, like, idioms and things?
Sure.
I mean, I guess TikTok, in a way, is not idioms, like, by definition, but, like, the
Yeah.
idea that you're taking a viral sound
Yeah.
and you're adding context, or it can... Yeah.
For sure.
So.
I mean, as well as like, while I don't know if we are creating a lot of new idioms these days, like slang is like consistently being created, and to the point where the dictionary is being added to it, but it's also like very local to an area if you have certain slang or whatever, and like Urban Dictionary is always funny to like look at when you
Urban
have a
Dictionary
funny
is
thing
great.
to search, but it's like I think the space where it's like this, like the idioms itself. Yeah, like I wonder if those will kind of be reclassified, if you will, as idioms, or if they're just kind of like cultural
Moments,
if you will. I don't know, but like so fun.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. We'll have to hang out and see.
What, 100 years? Meet back here in 100? Okay.
Okay.
Cool. We'll be back here in 100. See what idioms are still around.
Exactly.
Or new ones or whatever.
So, but I'm glad to have knocked your socks off and/or thought of just a weird, again, deep cut nerd little fascination of like, oh, this is fun. Like these are they're weird. They're weird.
I'm going to do mathematics at some point. It'll take me like months, maybe years to like put that outline together.
For sure. But it'll happen.
It'll happen. Mathematics one would be funny.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for us here on Knock Your Socks Off podcast. As always, you can find our full episodes on youtube.com/KYSO podcast, on TikTok at KYSO podcast. New pods every Saturday. Till next time, go compare some apples to oysters. That was a good one.
Right?
That was fun.
Isn't it fun?